Happy Monday, fun day, crypto fam. How's it going? I'll let your boy in the live chat. In today's show, Bitcoin setting up for an explosive move to the upside, says popular crypto analyst, Credible Crypto. I'll be sharing his bullish target. And breaking news just in, 19 new countries submit membership requests to join BRICS, challenging the US dollar's global dominance. Also in today's show, breaking news, Luna is not a security. South Korean court rules in Terra co-founder's case for Do Kwon. Also more breaking news, Zimbabwe's central bank to issue a gold-backed digital currency. I'll be breaking down this report, which says the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe plans to introduce this gold-backed digital currency as a legal tender in a bid to stabilize its local currency. We'll also be discussing former Goldman Sachs executive Raoul Pal predicts 1 billion users to flood the crypto market this cycle. We'll also be discussing the United States to suffer a devastating hyperinflation, war, and starvation as BRICS dumps the dollar, according to Rich Dad Robert Kiyosaki. And quoting him here from a recent tweet, gold to crash. Steve Van Meter, whom I respect, predicts gold to crash to $1,000. He states that markets are tired of waiting for gold to go higher. If gold drops to 1,000, I will buy more. I'm an investor, not a trader. To me, gold, silver, and Bitcoin are real money. To me, cash is trash. Also breaking news, banking giant Standard Chartered says Bitcoin's pathway to $100,000 is becoming clearer. That's right, they say Bitcoin is tipped to hit $100,000 by the end of 2024. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. And welcome everyone, this is pod episode number 1261. I'm your host JV, and today is April 24th, 2023, and the market is currently bleeding and in the red, which you can see here on your screen. Bitcoin down 1% for the day, trading just above $27,300. Ether down almost 2%, trading just above $1,800, and just massive losses for the overall crypto market. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap sitting just above $1.15 trillion with 37 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance back on the decline at 45.8%, with the Ether dominance also in the decline at 19.2%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours, we have FXS up 3.5%, trading at $8.18, followed by Lido DAO up almost 3%, trading at $2.11, followed by DYDX up 2.5%, trading just under $2.50. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, you can see ultimately a sea of red with a handful in the green. The top gainers include BGB up 9% and KAS up 5%. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, one of my favorite indicators, it shows we're currently rated at 53, neutral, yesterday at 56, last week a 69, and last month a 64 in greed. So there you have it. How many of you took advantage of this dip, BTFD? Let me know in the comments. And now let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis, shall we? Here we go. Synonymous trader, Credible Crypto, doubles down on his contrarian view. The Bitcoin and digital asset markets are en route to new highs sooner rather than later. The analyst tells his 340,000 Twitter followers Bitcoin's recent pullback from the 30,000 level is a normal correction, part and parcel of a longer-term parabolic rally. Quoting the analyst right here, if your macro thesis on Bitcoin has changed because of a $2,000 pullback after a 10,000 plus vertical rally from $19,000 to $30,000 plus, then you're doing it wrong. Nothing has changed. Pullbacks on the way up are normal and healthy. He makes a great point. Credible says the Bitcoin consolidating below 30,000 level is Bitcoin's way of building a base before exploding through its resistance. And based on his chart, he gives a medium-term target of about $45,000 by mid-July. Send it. Let's go. Quoting him here, retest of key levels are common in crypto. The last major retest we had was at 19,000 before our rally to $30,000 plus. A retest of 25,000 here would be logical and healthy. Also, the longer we chop around below 30,000, the more time we have for some alts to pump. Not an alt season, just a chance to play some short-term alt pumps before Bitcoin starts its next leg. So there you have it. Incredible also had previously put forth a view that the King Crypto is heading above six figures sooner than anyone expected. He does not share the common outlook that Bitcoin's in a long-term bear market or accumulation phase. Quoting him again, it is almost universally agreed upon on crypto Twitter that this rally will end in the $30,000 to $40,000 and give everyone 6+ months to accumulate before we head to new all-time highs in 2024, 2025. referring to the halving cycle. The collapse from 30,000 was triggered by an unprecedented wave of black swan events that caused mass liquidations and panic selling. I seriously doubt that once we reclaim these levels, we are just going to hang around and let everyone who panic sold comfortably take their time to reload for the ride to $70,000 plus. That's just not how these things work. Now, I also saw a tweet from Credible Crypto not too long ago with him ultimately predicting a $130,000 Bitcoin price action this year in 2023. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the crypto analyst. And breaking news just in before I went live this morning, 19 new countries submit membership requests to join BRICS, challenging the US dollar's global dominance. Can you say goodbye to the US dollars? Now, they didn't announce in this article precisely which countries they are, but your guess is as good as mine. It's not looking good for USD. And now, before we break down our next story of the day and discuss Luna officially being listed as not a security by South Korean authorities, this is actually quite very interesting. And my thoughts is I think they're going to appeal and bring this to the Supreme Court. But nonetheless, a South Korean district court has dismissed charges against the security violations against Terraform Labs CEO and co-founder Hein Hong Shin. The court deemed Luna, the native token of the Luna ecosystem, as non-security under Korea's Capital Markets Act. The Southern District Court in Seoul dismissed the prosecution's appeal for confiscating Shin's properties and his arrest based on security law violations. The prosecution agreed that Luna's fraudulent transaction breached the Capital Market Act, in addition to crimes involving property, which fraud, making property confiscation a possibility, a local daily reported. Now, a Google translated version of the court's observation read the following: "It is difficult to see Luna coin as a financial investment product regulated by the Capital Markets Act." The court, while rejecting the prosecution's request for confiscation of the accused properties, noted it's difficult to see that the subject property to be claimed could be acquired by a crime or an asset derived from it. The latest ruling is more notable because it states categorically that Luna is not a security. Imagine if Gensler and the SEC were to deem it. We all know it would already be a security, right? Other courts have previously used cautious language like there is room for dispute in terms of the law, and it is questionable whether the Capital Markets Act can be applied. The lawyer representing the former CEO said that the court rejected the prosecution's request for an arrest warrant for his client and individuals associated with the case. He added that Luna could not easily be considered an investment product based upon the court ruling, and the latest court ruling makes the Terra Luna saga a case of fraud and breach of trust rather than a violation of the Capital Markets Act. However, the prosecution is still focusing on the security aspect of the native token and has also appealed to the Supreme Court against the verdict of the lower district court, which I assumed would happen. The judgment by the Korean District Court is in contrast to the stance of the U.S. SEC, which has charged Terraform Labs and its founder, Do Kwon, with violation of security laws. However, Kwon's lawyer has denied the SEC's security fraud allegations. So how do you think this will likely turn up for Do Kwon? Obviously, regulators here in the U.S. are deeming everything a security, even though it's unclear exactly what is a security and what is not. But that's all by design, as they leave investors uncertainty, as uncertainty seems to plague the market and suppress the price action. But there you have it. And now for our next story of the day, Zimbabwe. We all know their currency has collapsed and hyperinflating alongside Argentina and many other countries out there. So this is actually quite interesting. It sounds like a CBDC without them saying the word CBDC. Zimbabwe's central bank to issue a gold-backed digital currency. Because if you do the math, a CBDC is a central bank digital currency. So if the central bank issues a gold-backed digital currency, is that not the same as a CBDC? Let's break it down. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is set to introduce a gold-backed digital currency to serve as a legal tender in the country. The move is a government initiative to stabilize the local currency from continued depreciation against the U.S. dollar. That's right. According to the report from the media outlet, the Sunday Mail, the move will allow small amounts of Zimbabwean dollars to be exchanged for the digital gold token, enabling more Zimbabweans to hedge against currency volatility. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe Governor John said the plan intends to leave no one and no place behind. Zimbabwe's currency trades at 1,001 ZWL against the dollar, but is typically exchanged for 1,750 ZWL on the streets of Harare, the country's capital. According to Bloomberg, the country's annual consumer price inflation reached a one-year low in March at 87.6%, down from 92% in February. And according to John, the exchange rate in the parallel market is expected to stabilize after tobacco farmers receive their U.S. dollar payments in the coming weeks. He said the current exchange rate volatility has been caused by expectations of increased foreign currency supply on the market due to the tobacco season. Interesting, right? The monetary dysfunction in Zimbabwe and lack of changes had led to business printing their own money, businesses, on handwritten scraps of paper, talk about IOUs, so that users can pay for future purchases. According to the Wall Street Journal report, Zimbabwe has been fighting against currency volatility and inflation for over a decade. Back in 2009, the country adopted the U.S. dollar as its currency after an episode of hyperinflation. Then in 2019, the Zimbabwean dollar was reintroduced in an effort to revive the country's struggling economy. Then last year, the government decided to use the U.S. dollar once again in a bid to curb surging prices in the country. Crypto adoption has grown in many African countries as a result of the economic challenges. For example, in Nigeria, it's booming. And according to Chainalysis, the Middle East and North Africa is the fastest growing region for crypto adoption thanks to the cross-border remittances, with over $566 billion in crypto transactions between July 2021 and June 2022, up 48% from the previous year. So there you have it. Now, what are your thoughts surrounding Zimbabwe launching a gold-backed CBDC? Do you think this can potentially occur in other nations around the world as hyperinflation continues and it seems like the death of the dollar? Let me know your thoughts in the comments right down below. And now let's break down our next story of the day. According to macro guru Raoul Pal, he says there will be over 1 billion crypto users this market cycle, which obviously would bring in mass adoption. So let's discuss it. The Real Vision founder and former Goldman Sachs executive Raoul Pal says crypto should reach a huge milestone in the next bull market with 1 billion or more users. Bring it. In a new Ask Me Anything session, Pal says that the inevitable wave of liquidity will prop up risk on assets like cryptocurrency. And according to the macro guru, the surge in capital will likely light up the nascent industry with new innovation that attracts the next batch of users. Quoting him here, as liquidity comes back into the markets, we will see the next rise of the crypto story. And the crypto story will go from 300 million users to 1 billion users or more this cycle. And there will be applications you haven't dreamt of or things you thought weren't coming that will come at scale, whether it's digital identity, whether it's massive cases of Web3, whether it's decentralized finance, or whether it's something entirely new, whether it's ticketing via NFTs. Who the hell knows? In this next cycle, with the amount of capital that's been invested in this space, that's going to see yet another acceleration. The macro guru says that the Fed has likely already finished rate hiking in its attempt to reel in inflation. He also foresees a recession in the near future, which will ultimately force the Fed to reverse course and send the markets higher via money printer. Now, quoting him again, this is exactly what happened in 2019 after the Fed pivot. In 2018, the Fed are going to pause very soon, or have paused. I think they have paused or certainly should pause, and we'll see this continued acceleration until liquidity slows down at some point, and then we'll have the pauses in the market. We may even have pullbacks if liquidity goes back, which I don't really see, and then we'll see acceleration as we start hitting the recession of the unemployment side of the equation, which comes later when the real money printing and rate cutting really starts. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Raoul Pal, and to watch this video he did, check the show notes below the video in the description. And do you feel mass adoption is likely to come this market cycle? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below. And at the end of the show, we'll read everyone's comments out loud, giving everyone an opportunity for their opinions and comments and voices to be heard. And with that being shared, now let's discuss US dollar hyperinflation as per Rich Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, and then we'll discuss banking giant Standard Chartered's $100,000 Bitcoin price prediction next year in 2024. Let's get it. Here we go. Rich Dad author Robert Kiyosaki issues a dire warning to Americans, saying that the country is likely to witness one crisis after another as BRICS nations send their dollars back to the United States. In a new video, Kiyosaki tells his 3 million subs that the U.S. is now at a risk of suffering hyperinflation, war, and starvation as major economic powers come together to defy the supremacy of the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. According to Kiyosaki, BRICS, which is made up of Brazil, Russia, India, India, China, and South Africa. And as I mentioned, there's now more 18 new countries that want to join this, poses a major threat to the stability of the American society, as the alliance of nations can trigger hyperinflation by sending their massive dollar reserves back to the United States. BRICS is reportedly in the early stages of developing a precious metal pegged currency that does not utilize US dollars. Could that be gold back? Let's see how that plays out. Triffin's dilemma meant that the U.S. had to supply dollars to every central bank throughout the world, so we had to print probably quadrillions of dollars. And that's what happens is when in the playground bully, the U.S. and the BRICS nations gang up against the bully, they say, take your dollars back. And when those dollars come roaring back into America, we have things called hyperinflation. And every time there's hyperinflation, guess what happens? Dictators arise. Preach. The Triffin dilemma suggests that the issuer of the gold reserve currency faces the challenge, the global reserve currency faces the challenge of running an oversupply of its own currency as the country provides liquidity for the rest of the world. Kiyosaki says the hyperinflation is just the tip of the iceberg, and should the BRICS nations completely abandon the US dollar, he also predicts that military conflict will contribute to a new American struggle to access the most basic needs. Quoting him again, out of all of this chaos and the dollar going bad, the dollar is going to come back in trillions. Hyperinflation, wars break out, starvation increases. The best-selling author also warns that other countries are beginning to realize that the US dollar cannot be trusted. As he points out here, ladies and gents, if you don't trust your money, that's the problem. And the world is now waking up that they don't trust the money. But worst of all, Triffin's dilemma is going to kick in, and trillions of dollars will come washing back on our shore, and you're going to see hyperinflation like you have never seen before. So there you have it, a dire warning from Rich Dad. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below. And to watch this video he did, check the show notes below the video in the description. And now for a recent tweet he just shared last night, gold to crash. Steve Van Meter, whom I respect, predicts gold to crash to $1,000. He states the markets are tired of waiting for gold to go higher. If gold drops to 1,000, I will buy more. I am an investor, not a trader. To me, gold, silver, and Bitcoin are real money. And to me, cash is trash. Preach. I agree 100%. Cash is absolutely trash, and I'd be stocking up on Bitcoin as well. And if you're a believer in precious metals, why not? I just feel that Bitcoin is so much superior, I wouldn't waste my time with it when I got the real deal, baby. Just saying. But with that being shared, now let's discuss banking giant Standard Chartered's $100,000 Bitcoin price prediction, and then we'll dive into some live Q&A. The flagship crypto Bitcoin could climb as high as $100,000 by the end of next year, 2024, also the year of the halving, just FYI, now less than a year out. According to Standard Chartered, if that level is reached, it would mark a 270% surge from the current price action of about $27,000. According to Standard Chartered's report, the so-called crypto winter is over, and from all indications, Bitcoin is set to go on a gaining stretch. Full send. One of the factors that informed this prediction is the fact that the Federal Reserve is about to end its aggressive rate hiking cycle. According to Geoff Kendrick, head of digital assets research at Standard Chartered, the move can propel the king crypto to six figures. However, he admits that other factors may still hinder this expected rally. Quoting him here, while sources of uncertainty remain, we think the pathway to the US dollar, to 100,000 USD level is becoming clear. I hope he's right. Another factor that formed part of the prediction is that recently there has been improved profitability in crypto mining operations. That is not to mention the risks of the banking sector that were recently exposed, and as the bank runs continue. And also, generally, there's now much more optimistic outlook on cryptos as well as other risk assets. This is as central banks round off tightening their monetary policies. However, sky-high predictions such as there is not exactly uncommon in this crypto sector. A Citi analyst once projected Bitcoin to hit 318,000 by the end of 2022. While that prediction didn't go as planned, there are many more who are bullish on the king crypto, even for the year running. For example, the billionaire venture capitalist Tim Draper holds the opinion the Bitcoin can rise as much as $250,000 this year. And Draper has held his view since 2021 and reconfirmed his position again last December, doubling down on his $250,000 Bitcoin price prediction. With all of these predictions, it does not appear that Bitcoin may truly be getting ready for a long rally. But what are your thoughts? We also have to consider Bitcoin already from the bottom of late last year when we hit like 15,600. Bitcoin is up virtually 100% from the top we just hit of 31,000 plus. Not too shabby, and was still probably up roughly 70% year to date. So let me know your thoughts. Do you feel Bitcoin will likely to continue running as we approach the halving in 2024, or do you feel we're likely to correct? Let me know your honest thoughts, and I'll read those comments out loud. Now for some live Q&A, and welcome to each and every one of you joining us in the live chat. Much respect, Frankie V, good to see you. Greedy Sav 1, much love and welcome. Bitcoin Maximus, Digital Dankness, Selling with Twins. Werner Sunkel, good morning and welcome. Anything Bitcoin, welcome. Alan Haley, good to see you. Mike Well, good to see you as well, fam. Dan Drummond, always a pleasure. Nathan Roth, what's poppin'? Fairground Fun Days, good morning and welcome. Bitcoin Maximus, Andrew 2, Jeff S, good to see a lot of the familiar fam here in the building. Just stacked some more for the HODL bag at 27.4. Well done, Michael. Glad to hear you and see you stacking sats. Good stuff. Here we go. World War III, the BRICS in the red corner, NATO in the blue. Everybody loses. Get right with God. He gave you Bitcoin, tells us from Dan. Preach, brother. It is getting pretty wild out there in this global economy, to say the least. And shout out to Sailing with Twins. I know it was his birthday over the weekend, so long celebration with the fam. Fun day, Monday for sure. A little stressful because I'm getting everything in order to move into my new place. Well, congratulations on the new place, Digital Dankness. I thrive on character building moments like this, 100%. Sometimes, you know what I mean? We have to stretch and grow, and we're presented with these situations so that God can allow us to grow and become stronger versions of ourselves, the superhero version, as I like to call it. That's why I refer to it as JV. JV is my superhero alter ego. You know what I mean? Digital Dankness, quoting Roger Ver, Bitcoin is the most important invention in the history of the world since the internet. I mean, spot on. I'm not going to argue with that quote whatsoever. Fox's stock is tanking after they released Tucker, referring to Tucker Carlson. Word up. Maple is up 17%. It's the native crypto of the Maple Finance Protocol, which is a decentralized finance platform built on the Ethereum blockchain, says Jeff S. Jeff. Well, congratulations if you're an investor in that. That's what's up. One of the unique features of Maple Finance, it provides institutional investors with way to lend money to borrowers in the DeFi space. Word up. Good stuff. And I appreciate all the smash likes. If you're new to the channel, not only do you want to make sure to subscribe, but hit that bell icon, turn on all notifications so you know every single time when I go live with a new show, as I go live every single day. What's good? Good morning from Cornwall, England. Good to see you, Fairground Fun Days. Good morning and welcome. One love to you as well, Selling with Twins. Algeria, Argentina, Bahrain, Belarus, Egypt, Indonesia, Iran, Mexico, Nigeria, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, Syria, Tunisia, Turkey, the UAE, Venezuela, and Zimbabwe have expressed interest. I guess you're referring to the BRICS. Maybe these are amongst those 18 countries are looking to join. Good stuff, and thanks for pointing that out. You know what I mean? And agreed, Dan, Argentina truly does need Bitcoin very badly, to say the least. Dankness says, didn't Luna crash? How would an unstable coin be pushed as a credible candidate? Great question. For all we know, Do Kwon paid off the South Korean authorities to, we don't know. It's wild. Well, I would have thought for sure that Luna would have been deemed a security. How many people got scammed on Luna? That was a multi-billion-dollar fraud. So that court ruling absolutely hit me by shock, but at the same time, they're going to be appealing it to the higher court, such as the Supreme Court, as oftentimes justice isn't discovered in the lower courts, hence why we call it the lower courts. You know what I mean? Wait for Vietnam and Iraq people to wake up. Bitcoin is their way ahead, says Mike Well. Word up. Bitcoin Maximus, a lot of precious metals in that group. Facts, Alan. Welcome, Frankie V. Good morning. What's poppin'? Good to see you as always, fam. Maximus, good morning. South Africa, not far behind. Zimbabwe, so Selling with Twins, referring to the local currency there, just dwindling in comparison to the dollar, right? Interesting. Very interesting. Anything Bitcoin, welcome from the fellow Brit from Manchester. Word up. JV, let's go. Feeling more bullish than ever. It's not a dream anymore. It's a reality. That's right. Biggie once said, it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazines. Classic. I've been patiently waiting for a track to explode on. I mean, yeah, I feel you, Greedy. In Bitcoin we trust. Bitcoin equals freedom. We trust in the mathematics. That's right. We don't trust central bankers. We don't trust central bank digital currencies. We don't trust FedNow. We don't trust Gary Gensler. We don't trust the SEC. We don't trust Jamie Dimon. We don't trust Wells Fargo. We don't trust none of those banks. You know what I mean? All we trust is mathematics, and that's what makes Bitcoin in a league of its own, because we don't need to trust any third-party authority, and we don't have to deal with that anymore. And that's what makes Bitcoin what it is, and its true decentralized nature, and that's what makes it so valuable. That's why one single Bitcoin, a digital currency, is worth more than 27,000 US dollars. And to be exact, $27,345, like that. And let me remind you, at one point in November of 2021, one Bitcoin was once worth 69,000 US dollars. This is before the BRICS. This is before all the nations around the world were looking to, step away from the dollar as a world reserve currency. So could you imagine the trajectory of where Bitcoin is heading, knowing what we know right now, sitting here 1 year prior to the halving of 2024? I absolutely believe that Bitcoin will smash $100,000 by the end of the next year. And I feel that's extremely conservative. I think we hit the peak of this cycle in 2025, as history has demonstrated us from the previous cycles. And I'm looking at $200,000 to $300,000 Bitcoin price, and that I'm looking at conservatively, because Bitcoin has no top, as the US dollar has no bottom. That, my friend, is a fact. And what are your thoughts surrounding Kiyosaki's $1,000 gold prediction? Where's gold at right now? It's got to be close to 2,000. Do you think gold can potentially drop 50% of its value? Let me know. I would love to know your thoughts. I'll be reading all these out loud. Almost all tokens are punishable by the SEC. That's right. According to the SEC, everything minus Bitcoin is deemed a security, and they want to regulate it and go after you. That's what we're dealing with in the U.S., and that's why so many exchanges are leaving the U.S. abroad. For example, Coinbase, as I shared a couple of days ago, breaking news, they just got their license in Bermuda to start a derivatives exchange. Then the day following, yesterday, as I shared on the show, the Winklevoss twins with Gemini Exchange announced the same thing. They were going to be moving abroad or launching a derivatives platform outside the U.S. Wonder why they're doing that? Because they want nothing to do with the SEC. They don't even care to do business in the United States any longer, because unfortunately the SEC is ushering out the adoption from within the US because of the stupid regulation and choke point on crypto, which couldn't be any more clear. You know what I mean? It just is what it is, fam. You know what I mean? What's up? What's up? Good to see y'all just tuning in. Pleasure. I'm in South Africa as well, says Werner. That's what's up. Anything Bitcoin is welcome. Word up. Let's go. Feeling more bullish than ever. Love to hear that. Bitcoin is undisputed champion. That's right. It is the king. There's no question about that. That's a fact. Kiyosaki for president. Word up. Go to 31,000, says YouTuber. Send it. Let's go. BRICS will bring Bitcoin out of hiding and off to the moon. Send it. I'm awaiting. It's inevitable, fam. I am not sure which to say. I just keep dollar cost averaging and stacking sats. Well, keep doing your thing, Michael. I think you're doing the right thing. It is on the up till 2024. Might have one or two drops between, but nothing to worry about. Dollar cost average all the way, Michael, says Bitcoin Maximus. Sage advice. Smash the likes. I appreciate that. Matthew J. Good morning. How you doing, broski? Welcome. Almost all tokens are punishable. That's right. The SEC is going to deem everything a security. Not shocking to me. Statute of limitations is 3 years, says Matthew. Smash that like, says Werner. Appreciate that. Smash, says Maximus. Thank you for that. Bitcoin is the king. Facts preach. Indeed, trust the math. Undisputed. Now hear me out. Bitcoin news alerts. I like it. Gold can drop. People are selling gold for Bitcoin. The superior store of value. Facts. In just a matter of time before Bitcoin overtakes the gold market cap. Gold market cap sitting above 13 trillion. The Bitcoin market cap is what? Probably in the ballpark of 300 to 400 billion. So, I mean, Bitcoin, once we conquer that, I'm projecting easily a $500,000 Bitcoin price, as the Winklevoss twins once made the case for. And that was one of their core arguments, that Bitcoin will overtake the gold market cap because it's a superior version, especially for the younger generations. They don't look at gold as this magical, yellow rock that's going to save them from hyperinflation. They're looking to Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Because it's a new age. So the younger generation is saying, I want Bitcoin. Yeah, you got the gold bugs out there, the older cats, the Peter Schiffs of the world, you know what I mean, doing their thing with the gold. But I think it's just a matter of time. More and more people are going to move away from gold and into Bitcoin. And that's one of the many reasons you should be bullish on the king crypto. I mean, just in that market alone, Bitcoin could absolutely explode. And let's not forget the total addressable market is something like $500 trillion. There's a lot of money out there, maybe not physically, not cash, but it exists. And Bitcoin has a long ways to go. We're just getting started. We're only, 13, 14 years old. I believe Bitcoin launched the Genesis block back in January of 2009. Right now we're in 2023. I mean, Bitcoin is still a pup. You know what I mean? We have a long ways to go, and the trajectory couldn't look prettier from my perspective. One of the reasons I'm so bullish, you know what I mean? Smash the like and share it on Twitter. Greatly appreciate that. Every retweet means the world to me. Every like, every comment, it just helps out with the YouTube algorithm, helps attract more people to spread, to get this message, you know what I mean, for Bitcoin, the undisputed king. Thanks for the reminder. I got to get that retweet. Thank you, Matthew J. Greatly appreciate that. Binance, get in gear and move out of the USA. Yeah, why do you want to do business in the USA? Is the market that amazing? I think the market is much bigger abroad. And if you're not in the USA, you don't got to deal with the United States regulators who are corrupt and colluding with all the criminals and all of the bad actors. That's why you had Sam Bankman-Fried propped up as the Michael Jordan of crypto, the JP Diamond of crypto. You know what I mean? Screw this. It is insane. Pure insanity, to say the least. But nonetheless, fam, now for a recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. I broke down the latest technical analysis. Bitcoin setting up for an explosive move to the upside, says popular crypto analyst Credible Crypto, and I shared with you his target. He says we can reclaim 70,000. He even predicted a few weeks back we can hit 130,000 this year in 2023. Also shared with you breaking news that 19 new countries submit their membership to request to join BRICS challenge in the US dollars, global dominance, as well as Luna is not a security, according to South Korean court, which ruled in Terra co-founder's case. We also discussed Zimbabwe's central bank to issue a gold-backed digital currency. I broke down their latest report, as well as former Goldman Sachs executive Raoul Pal predicts that 1 billion users will flood the crypto markets this cycle. And we also discussed the United States suffering devastating hyperinflation, war, and starvation as BRICS dumps the dollar, according to Rich Dad Robert Kiyosaki, and also shared breaking news that banking giant Standard Chartered says Bitcoin's pathway to $100,000 is becoming clearer, and they predict that to happen by next year. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you on tomorrow's show.